Today on X-Play. Pirates, bastards, and Crazy Adam.
God speaks to me and tells me to do things.
Size really does matter.
Okay.
It's game time.
Prepare to be reviewed.
Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb.
Prepare to be reviewed.
Prepare to be reviewed. This is X-Play.
Hello and welcome to X-Play. You know, that show.
Today we're going to waste a half hour of your life on a safari through the very best in video games being released this season.
Such games as Battlestations Midway, letting us remember how much fun killing the Japanese used to be. And we've got another installation in our serialized modernist drama series, Crazy Adam's Import Games. And later in the show, we'll review Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, an awkward exploration of the way anatomy affects personal relationships. You know, awkward for some guys, not so much for the sus man, you know what I mean?
We begin in the world of pirates, a swashbuckling world of brave ships on the high sea, petty theft, vitamin C deficiency, and catamite relationships with cabin boys. I can almost smell the salvage law. For a vacation in this magical world of doubloons and Dutch people, here's a review of Pirates for the PSP.
Has the British Royal Navy press-ganged you into the mercantile fleet? Feel like you can't get ahead in life? Do you find Keira Knightley attractive? Why not turn pirate? Riches, adventure, scurvy. Don't you owe it to yourself to die a horrible death at sea? Play Sid Meier's Pirates on ye old PlayStation Portable. Wow, this is a little smaller than I was expecting. Still, Sid Meier's Pirates is a ship that's proven seaworthy on both PC and the Xbox. Now all you bilge rats who bought the PSP can take a swing. Pirates is essentially the same game you played before. Most of your time is spent sailing a tiny vessel on a handheld sea. Your fortune is made by firing on any galley dumb enough to catch your attention, or by moving goods across the Caribbean from trade port to trade port. Pirates keeps the open-ended gameplay we like so much from previous versions. The PSP also has a new mini-game called Watch Your Crewmates Get Eaten by a Jaguar While You Look for Buried Treasure. Sorry, mateys. Like Anna Nicole, dead men tell no tales. Boarding a vessel pits you against the enemy captain for control of both ships. The animation is colorful and full of more daring do than Orlando Bloom in Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, and Elizabethtown combined. But a pirate's life isn't all fun and mutiny and syphilis. The main character's loss of his family shows us it's also full of tragedy and syphilis. Charm and wit are still part of your piratical quiver. Take the governor's daughter out for a whirl with the ballroom dancing minigame. See a pirate's life burst with gallantry and syphilis. The load times are short like the drop from a Port Royal gallows, and multiple difficulty settings add some challenge to ruling the seas. The visuals are a bit simple, and conversation consists only of grog-induced gibberish.
Imbriglicated.
Pillage, thievery, and trade-based ass-kicking won't be everyone's cup of rum, but Sid Meier's Pirates is a UMD full of scallywag rabble-rousing. In fact, it might be the best version of Pirates you can play if you don't mind a few minor glitches. When I have learned what progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery. In short, when I have a smattering of elemental strategy, you'll say a better Pirates game has never hit the PSP. A 4. Out of 5.
You know, in the great Pirates versus Ninjas debate, I can never pick a side. I may be a libertarian.
I think I'm putting all my money on conquistadors.
Pirates are so good at taking gold from conquistadors.
Yeah, but their helmets aren't nearly as shiny. But speaking of maritime combat, here's a review of Battlestations Midway.
Another game set in World War II? Gosh, we haven't had any one of these since, what, the last episode? How many real-time strategies and shooters can you set in a bombed-out French village before the whole genre starts to smell like old brie?
Incoming at 3 o'clock!
But hang on a second. Battlestations Midway shakes things up a bit by being both an RTS and a shooter at the same time. And it's also set in the largely ignored Pacific theater of the war, letting you take part in the most famous naval battles of that conflict. Yes, this game is completely Nazi and D-Day free. I swear if I have to stick one more sticky bomb on a Tiger tank.
Enemy squadron destroyed, sir.
In Battlestations Midway, you play young upstart U.S. Navy Commander Henry Walker.
My name is Henry Walker.
You're also some kind of freakish talking mannequin, dude. Like any good World War II game set in the Pacific, you start out at the attack on Pearl Harbor.
A date which will live in infamy.
You said it, FDR. Well, at first, you'll command a simple PT boat trying to survive that brutal attack on our naval power. You'll soon progress to larger ships like destroyers and cruisers, all the way up to aircraft carriers. In bigger battles, you'll have command of whole battle groups, including shipyards and airfields. You'll even be able to switch into the cockpits of your fighters and bombers as you slice through the Japanese Navy like a
samurai sword through a watermelon.
That's the simile I was looking for. Battles can be waged first person from the bridge of ships and seats of planes, but you also have control over the full battle from overhead maps that let you plan and coordinate your attacks. This is where the game starts to feel more like real-time strategy. This is also where a lot of you more non-hardcore gamers are gonna get turned off. You see, micromanaging a fleet of ships and airplanes over miles of ocean makes Battlestations Midway play kinda slow at times.
First thing a warrior needs to learn, Walker, is not how to fight. It's when to fight.
Whatever, dude. I'm here to have a good time.
Considering you've been too busy drinking beer and making whoopee to report for duty on board your vessel.
Man, war truly is hell. For the serious armchair admiral out there, Battlestations Midway is a satisfyingly realistic and deep representation of the war at sea, mixed with just the right amount of visceral action to keep us wanting more. But that's the problem. We want more. More missions in both single player and multiplayer would be great, as would a campaign from the Japanese side and a scenario editor where we could send a swarm of PT boats captained by future US presidents.
This is Lieutenant Kennedy.
Against a dozen Japanese battleships supported by swarms of Zeros. Now that sounds like good times. I totally don't know what he said right there, but I think it roughly translates to Battlestations Midway gets a 3 out of 5.
I'll see you somewhere in the Pacific.
World War II was a great model for a war. We invaded countries that actually exist, so when they surrendered, we didn't have to spend the next 20 years trying to construct some sense of order.
All right, I think we could fix up this whole fracas in Iraq just by letting the Japanese go in there and run things. Their colorful cartoon animals and candy-coated pop culture could mollify any populace.
No, if you look at all the empires which have successfully ruled Iraq, you'll find one thing in common.
Garlic breath?
Eunuchs. What the U.S. Army needs is some crack castrati troops.
In a moment, our hour of victory on X-Play. A proud taste for Scarlet and Miniver has our Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play. So we've got another World War II game, but before you complain and storm away and refuse to ever speak to X-Play again, realize that this World War II game promises to be one of the most graphically advanced games on the current generation of consoles. It's not scheduled to come out until this summer, but until then, here's our preview of Hour of Victory.
In a time when the world was at the edge of disaster, when lives were lost and heroes were found, the fate of 3 men, 3 strangers, and the fate of the world was about to change. Taggart speaks fluent German, moves in shadows, and likes to kill silently. Ross is a munitions expert, relies on brute strength, and in battle can move fast and strike quickly. Black Bull has incredible endurance, is an expert marksman, can climb in and out of any situation. 3 heroes, 3 destinies, 1 purpose. Hour victory. Coming summer 2007. This title not yet rated.
That was very attractive.
But we can't all afford those highfalutin current generation graphics.
Some of us still believe it's 2002. The Xbox is the cutting edge of human achievement.
For those poor souls, we offer another installment of games for cheap bastards.
Would you rather go to the zoo during mating season than pay 1 red cent for internet porn? Then let's use your skin to flint a conflagration of value. It's games for cheap bastards.
PS2's still got game, and with the amount of titles available for the PS3, we know you're still open for offerings. How about Prince of Persia: Two Thrones, straight out of the mystical gleaming dust of ancient Arabistan? A swarthy, scimitar-wielding warrior with a duplicitous state of mind, a lustily beboobed non-burked Betty, a gruesome menagerie of crusty foes. The prince has got new abilities, courtesy of a testy alter ego. This, of course, will fill your thrifty self with joy at $19.99. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter for the Xbox 360 will give you plenty of opportunities to send bad men to eternity's tailor. Dig these futuristic upgrades. The squad reacts submissively to commands, and an awesome armada of weapons are at your disposal. So if lethal spooks are your thing, then pick up Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter for a paltry $29.99. Do you think a designated drunk driving lane would be a great idea for our nation's highways? We do too! It'll never happen, so the next best thing is Flat Out 2 for the Xbox. The title comes with a fistful of throttle chokers for some reason, but who cares? The only person you really care about is this guy. It'll make your wallet's dusty interior smile for just $19.99. Looking for a role-playing game set within that monster-ridden history known as ancient Greece? Titan Quest for the PC has an expansion pack on the way, making this well-priced battle royale a necessity. The depth is amazing and the scope broad, yet the price a pittance. Pick Titan Quest up for $19.99. There you go, blessed bastard. Thrift has graced you. Seize the cheap.
As always, Games for Cheap Bastards rests on the premise you have at least $15 to spend on a game.
For those of you who cannot afford such an expense, we offer even cheaper games for even cheaper bastards. Brought to you by Stale Tortillas.
Stale Tortillas, they're just 2 ounces of shredded cheese away from a meal.
Today's even cheaper game for even cheaper bastards is the Settlers of Catan board game at your local cafe. It's free, it's fun, and you can play it anytime you can pull it away from that group of sensible women waiting to go to Olive Garden.
In a moment, Adam done gone crazy on X-Play. Throwing shadows, it's Adam Sessler.
Welcome back to X-Play. The world is a big and crazy place, full of unusual things, like potted meat, and the Pontiac Aztec, and Elizabeth Hasselbeck. And you can't go out and try to find all of these aberrations in nature, because the world is a dark and horrible place. That's why you need me to filter through and show you the foreign stuff that really matters. Here you go.
Crazy Adam here for Crazy Adam Discount Warehouse and Import Emporium. Well, it's finally happened, and I've completely gone crazy. At least that's what the demons in my head keep telling me. But I'll show them who's crazy.
Come on down. We have tens of games to choose from.
God speaks to me and tells me to do things. Horrible things.
Check out the games like Top-Down Warfare, Prince of Pomona, and Pediatric AIDS Ward Tycoon.
Come on down and bring whatever human hair and toenail clippings you can spare. I'm building a woman's suit.
Check out this week's import game from Japan, Gaku in Heaven, this game.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. What the hell am I looking at? Well, first off, we didn't make this up. This is a real game that's out right now in Japan. It's called Gakuen Heaven Okawari. And yes, that is a guy kissing another guy. The lead character of this game is Ito Keija, a hunky young teen who transfers into the prestigious Belle Liberty Academy, an all-male boarding school which is full of guys who want to mate with him. Yeah, believe it or not, those are all guys. That's a dude. That's a dude. Yes, even this one is a dude. Ito falls into possession of an unlucky ring, which causes all sorts of wacky misfortunes. Fortunately, the rest of the boys are around to help him figure out where the ring came from and how to release our spunky hero from its magical curse. You can pick from a wide array of potential suitors. I mean, guys you hang out with. Depending on choices you make, you get different story events. Kind of like choose your own adventure books, except those didn't usually end with guys bathing together. Although it might seem bizarre to American audiences, in Japan, boys' love stories have a moderately popular following among teenage girls. And, deeply closeted salarymen. Despite the premise, Gaku in Heaven Okawari is never explicit. Other than some passionate hand-holding and embarrassed glances, the farthest they ever go is a man-on-man kiss. Adorable. And that does it for this installment of Crazy Adams Import Games. Till next time, Japanophiles.
Crazy, crazy, crazy Adam. Crazy, 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 crazy Adam.
Still crazy!
You think it's just an act, but really, if he doesn't take his medication, it gets bad. It's real bad.
Morgan is overstating the situation. So you got a mild chemical imbalance. It doesn't make me crazy. It was just a joke. Who are you? Where's my ring? Come on, Chi-Chi.
Help.
Come on, Chi-Chi. Why can't I find a decent cup of deodorant around here?
If you'd like to see more of Adam's clear signs of mental illness, come on down to g4tv.com/xplay and enjoy one of our nice little podcasts.
All right, where's the Cobra, Mamie Eisenhower, Sentry? I think I taste paint.
Yeah. Our podcasts give you all this human frailty in a portable form, and you can watch and listen to while commuting, working out, or hiding a body.
Parky or Posey, I'm gonna find you.
Coming up, Ratchet and Clank Size Matters on X-Play. From the mixed-up files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play. Adam's had his antipsychotics, and he's feeling much better now.
If there is hope for the PlayStation Portable, it lies with the adorable platformers we grew to love on the PS2. The fuzzy Lombax Ratchet and his robot friend Clank have returned to take a stab at redeeming Sony's sleek black mistake. Here's Ratchet and Clank, Size Matters.
Ratchet and Clank on a portable gaming system. It's genius. It's like putting Harrison Ford in a good movie. So simple, yet so rare. Ratchet and Clank Size Matters is a remarkable accomplishment in that it's a regular old Ratchet and Clank game that fits on the PSP, and it would probably stand up to any of its larger PS2 brethren if it weren't on the PSP.
Just ignore them.
But first, the good. As far as what you'd expect from a Ratchet and Clank game, it's all here. Weapons, inventive levels of both platforming and shooting. There are some nice touches that are added to the game, like the collection of various armor pieces that, when complete, allow the player new abilities, like being on fire. I remember the last time I was on fire, everybody was cheering. The fire.
Thanks for sharing.
With a nod towards shorter play sessions, your weapons power up more frequently, and you seem to collect new gadgets at a faster rate, making it worth your while to find some alone time, or as my family calls it, the lockup.
Okay.
Though the most impressive accomplishment are the graphics. This looks like a PS2 Ratchet and Clank game. The one graphical drawback is that the camera is really close to old Ratchet here, and you can't take in all your surroundings, and may find yourself unpleasantly blindsided by enemies off-screen. Ratchet and Clank games have always been noted for their sublime controls that allow you to smoothly navigate both the intense combat and precarious platforming of the game. The PSP control layout doesn't come close in comparison. The control nubbin you guide Ratchet with doesn't offer anywhere near the precision necessary to guide him through the platforming sequences. More importantly is the button layout. Let me show you. See, strafing is essential to combat, which was simply performed by depressing the shoulder button, but you use the shoulders to control the camera, which should be controlled by the analog stick that doesn't exist. So how do you strafe? You move between the analog stick here and the D-pad above. One offers regular directional movement, one strafes. But the combat is intense enough that you need to move more quickly between the two than your brain or thumb allows, causing much frustration and mistakes as you desperately reach for the camera control stick that doesn't exist because someone thought the PSP didn't need one. In the end, all it did was make me yell. And when I yell, children cry. So, by the transitive properties of association, if the PSP makes me yell, and when I yell, children cry, the PSP makes children cry. It's the corporal punishment of gaming consoles. Fact is, Size Matters is a great Ratchet game on the wrong system. You can play the game to completion, but the pleasure that has been a hallmark of the series is noticeably absent. The great game it is feels frustratingly out of reach, like the 2008 election. A 3 out of 5.
Let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned X-Play replay.
Sid Meier's Pirates got a 4 out of 5 because it's a well-made port. We love pirates, and however boring his games may be, Sid Meier always satisfies.
Battlestations Midway got a 3 out of 5 because its appeal is limited and there's not enough variety of gameplay. Plus, World War II games are just starting to bore us.
Yeah, just started. Ratchet and Clank Size Matters got a 3 out of 5 because we love the franchise, but the controls just made it too hard to play.
Not putting a second analog stick on the PSP is one of the worst mistakes Sony ever made.
But that's what the PSP 2.0 is for, because I'm sure they'll expect us to buy that too.
Yeah, just like we expect the viewers to watch X-Play.
Yeah, please.
We need you.